Hey guys, welcome to another Anon Gremlin video. Today I haven't got a weapon review for you, just because I haven't packed anything new in multiplayer. That's quite hard to believe, I know, but I'm just getting duplicates of loads of stuff. But hopefully I will have some for you tomorrow. But anyway, I wanted to do this video looking at what I want beyond patch 1.05. This isn't just my opinions, it's some opinions that you guys have given me over videos. It's not necessarily opinions I've asked for, it's just little comments that you have made in regard to stuff. I haven't asked for feedback on this topic specifically. If you have feedback and you want to say what you want to see beyond 1.05, leave it in the comments. But here are my ideas. I'm just going to be concentrating on multiplayer because all of my content has been multiplayer based. I don't want to talk about single player as well because a lot of people have done videos on that and they are a lot better at explaining single player elements than I am. So one thing I want to see, and I know a lot of you want to see it in Mass Effect Andromeda multiplayer, is some guns to get nerfed. Not nerfed. See, I'm lying there. We want to see buffs. All we want to see is buffs. A lot of assault rifles and shotguns at the moment seem incredibly weak. They seem absolutely awful compared to sniper rifles and pistols. They are the go-to weapons now, and it does kind of get annoying. Not only are you using snipers and pistols, and you're finding that assault rifles and shotguns are pretty bad, it kind of makes the game less fun in one respect. And by that I mean the fact that now it doesn't seem like weapons suit a certain class. It seems like sniper rifles just suit every class because every other gun is absolute wank really, and there's no point using them. Like, you would put a shotgun on an infiltrator in Mass Effect 3, that is not worth it in Andromeda, and I want to see more guns get buffed just so we can have more unique characters and character developments / builds. Coming up on screen now is a major problem for me. When the game freezes and then crashes, I see this a lot on PS4, and a few of you have commented about this issue on PS4. We're going to call it the blue screen of death because we love giving original game names on this channel, but it is extremely annoying. I'm not sure if this hits you guys on PC. I know PC has a few problems just because of the nature of PC. There's so much dramatic difference in some people's PCs compared to others. I haven't heard a lot of people complaining about crashing on Xbox One, and when I did play 10 hours on Xbox One I didn't have a problem, but PS4 specifically I'm talking about, this blue error code crash is absolutely ridiculous, especially because it usually happens on wave 6 or 7, and that's just annoying. You don't get your credits, you don't get your XP, if you use an XP booster you lose it, etc. You just feel like you're wasting your time, and it really has made it so that sometimes I feel like not playing anymore. On screen now, this footage may seem odd. You may be like, Dill, you are absolutely crap at this game. But this is a error that I have had 3 or 4 times, and I was lucky enough to catch it the other day when I had it when I was recording. I was going to do the Solarian Architect in a review. I joined a gold game, had my Architect on, joined mid-game. For some reason I don't think my information got sent to the host correctly, and all of a sudden I spawn in as this human character with no skills, and an Avenger and a shotgun, I think it's a katana, at rank 1. Like, I've leveled both guns to X, and a lot of my human characters I have invested a lot of leveling to, but it just spawns you in as this rank 1 human character with no skills and really crappy guns, and you literally just set yourself up to die and literally annoy your team. This is really annoying because I don't see why it happens. It just seems to load you in as this useless character, and there's literally nothing you can do about it. You usually just have to end up leaving the game, so that's another annoyance. Another thing, while I'm on the topic of joining mid-game, sometimes I'll join in mid-game and all the enemies that have been killed by my teammates before I've joined in of that wave will be stood up and look like they're alive. So basically I'll join a game, I'll be there, we'll be halfway through wave 4, and half the enemies will be stood but be dead, so I don't know whether I should attack them or not. And then of course I have my live enemies, and I just literally don't know what to do. So that is another annoyance. Getting into some more sort of generic stuff here. Obviously we want to see better hosting. So many games I've joined have been extremely laggy. This is due to the fact that the game has no dedicated server. We've seen the backlash with for this from games like For Honor. For Honor is a bigger problem just because it's PvP. This isn't so bad because it's PvE, but it is bloody annoying when you join a lobby and you've got terrible connections. It's nothing to do with your end, and yeah, it's just awful, and it shouldn't really be happening. I think the one thing that we could call for is we want dedicated servers. But I think that's maybe too much to ask. It's a big step, especially for Mass Effect Andromeda multiplayer. It's not going to be played by a lot of people. It's still played by, I reckon, a few million, so Maybe they could, but I think it's too late now for ask for dedicated servers. What I'm going to ask for is something like you have in FIFA. Just have a little bar, a ping bar or a connection bar, to show us how good that host connection is. If we know how good their connection is, we can gauge before we join the game. A lot of the time you join into games and find out it's laggy on like wave 3, and you're like in a tight spot. You're like, should I leave now or should I carry on fighting, because I've already put in time into this game and I want my credits, etc. So that's another annoyance. Another thing when it comes to lag and hosting is the fact that sometimes you get errors when you're not host. So the key one that you may see in some of my sniping footage here, I didn't put it in intentionally, I was just trying to find good footage that I have to put in the background. But in this clip especially, sometimes you'll see I'll be lined up for the headshot and I'll literally be on the head, I'll shoot the bullet and it won't give me a hit. It won't even register as a hit, a normal body hit, let alone a critical spot hit. That's because there's error in the code when you're not the host, meaning that it doesn't register as a hit, and that is extremely annoying, of course, because you want your bullets to count. You want to be able to gauge where you're supposed to be shooting them. Sometimes if you shoot them in the body, it'll count as a critical hit on the head, stuff like that. So that can be a real annoyance when sort of bullet registry doesn't work because you're not the host or the host has bad connection. I'd also argue the case in regard to skills. Some skills are broken because basically not enough care has been taken. So at the moment, the Remnant VI, it doesn't heal over time. That's a new character skill that's been released, so maybe that wasn't going to be perfect on release, but surely somebody would have tested it. There's other stuff like we had Tactical Cloak, that wasn't working if you weren't the host, etc. Skills aren't working just because there's little errors that haven't been ironed out, and a lot of it comes down to whether you are host or not. While I'm on the topic of skills, some guy highlighted a problem that I've had. It's a minuscule problem. Some of you may be like, this isn't really a problem considering the bigger problems that are in the game. One thing that I find is I wish I could remap skills. I want to be able to remap my skills. When using the Architect, I use Incinerate, it's on his RB. On my Turin Havoc Trooper, it's on the LB. Sometimes I get confused, I go to use Incinerate and I end up popping out my Remnant VI. I want the ability to be able to change what buttons my skills are on, whether they're on the L1 or the R1, but again, that is a very small problem and I don't think that's necessarily something that needs to be fixed right away considering the other magnitude of problems we have. Going forward, I like what BioWare and EA have done. I'm not criticising them too much. I've laid out some problems, but they're minuscule. I do appreciate that they do listen to us as a community. 1.05 was a good step. It wasn't the best of steps. There's still a lot of guns that needed boosts that weren't boosted, and the Matic got a debuff, but also an increase in fire rate, but that didn't really do much to the gun, etc. I like how they also release characters and guns and new maps all the time. That was seen in Mass Effect 3 and I think that's really good of them, especially because they are often free, and I just think they're a great company. But at the moment, BioWare, not EA. I'm not saying EA is a great company. They've won worst company in America for like 3 or 4 years in a row now. But anyway, those are my concerns. Please feel free to voice your concerns. I know there's a guy in the comment section, I think he's called Jason. He does post a lot in the EA forums, so maybe if you hook him up, you'll see him in a lot of the comment sections of my videos. He basically posts them a lot. If you upvote his comments, maybe some problems that he's highlighted will get fixed. Just band together, guys. We can make the game better. It's not a bad game, it just needs slight improvements. So without further ado, I'm going to end the video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and leave your opinions of what you'd like to be fixed in patch 1.1, I guess it will be called. Thanks for listening.